Weren't expecting that, were you?
Oh, nice strike.
One map is taking place on the actual place that's called Bohemian Paradise. And it's really beautiful nature with quite unusual rocky formations all around.
But it is there. The game is very reactive to what you're doing.
Absolutely. And because of that, I would like to try again and see what happens if we play everything a tiny little bit different.
You have to talk to her first. Yeah.
I'm stupid. I should have made the save after I talked to Božena. So let me just skip through that so we have this quickly. She says the same thing as before. After all, it's the same situation as we saw before. By the way, we didn't mention this earlier.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and that was already the part in KCD1, but maybe you want to say something about that. Sometimes the perks or the skills that you learn will help you in some dialogues and unlock some special...
Yeah, we actually do have some skills that are especially used in dialogues, a lot of like kind of persuasion or impression or intimidation and stuff like that. But we also want to use your regular skills in dialogues. So sometimes, for example, when she's asking you whether you know something about alchemy, or you can use the skill. And it can, sometimes it gives you like a new option, sometimes it just gives you some new items, or just a reputation like you just did with Božena. She really appreciates that you know something about alchemy. Mm-hmm. The chicks are there.
But here's, you can see the reputation we mentioned earlier.
Actually, the reputation system, maybe I can give you a little explanation. It also got pretty overhauled in KCD2. So you have a reputation with like specific types of people or some like regions, but now there's a whole thing about how the reputation distributes. So for example, if you have like one house when the owner hates somebody else, if you do something, you're trying to kill the chicken, sorry. But what I was just trying to say is that the reputation now like is slowly distributed about to other factions if they know each other. And sometimes when you do something bad to somebody else might actually appreciate it.
Do you think Božena appreciates that I punched her chicken into
I think she doesn't, but
abyss?
she didn't see you. So
Yeah.
you're lucky.
And now...
Maybe just, show the chicken first. Maybe.
Wait a second. Show the chicken first, of course. Chicken.
It's the Y to show the info.
There you go.
Yeah, you can see even just plain food in our game. There's so many stats. You can, if you want to, you can really delve deep into everything. You don't have to. The game, you kind of understand everything, even if you don't want to really study the systems. But if you want to, and you can check right here, the nourishment is 10.
Yeah.
So cook
and
it.
After my 5-finger death punch, cookie. There you go. Yum, yum, yum. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Yes.
Yes.
Cooked chicken. Where is it? I want it. Give me the chicken. There you go. Up.
With left?
Yes.
And you can see you actually improve the chicken by cooking it, which is like obvious thing to do. But you can cook food, you can dry it, you can smoke it. For example, I especially recommend drying your food because especially at the beginning you will have some trouble with limited inventory. So drying food makes it lighter. So I suggest doing that.
Plus, food can spoil, and dried and smoked and so on will, of course...
It will last way longer.
So, back to Dead Bastard.
Yeah.
So, Dead Bastard. First of all, give me your sword. That's always good. And now, looten und leveln, because that's the best thing you can do. Give me all your crap.
And as you can see, we are so used to it, but actually in KCD, everything you see on any NPC is actually on him. So you can always loot anything that's on him. He really changes because you loot his clothes. So yeah, he's now naked, Dead Bastard.
I cannot loot his undies.
Yeah.
So I took the spade, ace of spades, and now we are taking this body and do what we were told, and that is to go and bury him in the forest. He's pretty heavy, so I can't sprint with him. But that's the fastest I can do. The little boar is checking us out suspiciously. I don't like that look in his eyes. It's fierce. Let's
Yeah.
rather let's rather continue. And we have to go now in this like little swampy area kinda and try and bury that naked bastard. Oh look, the piggy is following us.
I think he's like fleeing you, actually.
No,
You might be too stinky for him.
no, he wants to create a friendship.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
that's a good point. I might be so stinky that he want to be.
Yeah.
He smells us and says, "Family, isn't it great to come home?" So you go here.
I think you need to bring him closer.
Do I? No, I don't. I know. So as a matter of fact, let me show it for you guys. I know where to dig, but if you wouldn't, as you can see on the top of the compass, it tells you that somewhere here in this region, which is now I'm covering it unfortunately with this little thing, we have to bury the corpse. So we drop him here, wherever. Have to find with our nose in the dirt. Have to find. Start digging. There you go. And Henry is doing his job.
Yeah. And actually, this will make you dirty again. We listen
Dirty Henry.
Dirty Henry. We actually listen to feedback, so you are like now gain like the dirtiness slower in the open world, but specific interaction with the world will make you dirty very fast. For example, digging graves.
So I can drop him in there, right?
Yeah, you can. Yay.
Yeah, isn't ragdoll an amazing thing?
Yeah, always.
Go in. Come on. Put your legs in there. A little bit more. Oh no! Oh god, oh no.
I think you can bury him even like this.
Up. Yeah, I think that's good enough, right?
Yeah, he
Good
doesn't
enough.
deserve anything
Ah,
better.
good enough.
He tried to attack Hans.
Yeah, he's like an upside down popsicle right now. So, after quite a bit of time, look, and even we cut off his limbs, and the rest is old story. But before we go that way, let's go that way, because let's try and get a tiny little bit closer to Trusky Castle. We can't go too close. The quest requires you to stay here around him, so there's a natural barrier that will tell you, oh, I shouldn't go, and let me just check in which direction. Oh,
Yeah, you're in the right direction.
Yeah.
Just follow the stream.
so follow the stream.
And as you can see now, as I was talking about the biomes, obviously you will not go to the deserts and stuff like that. But you can see you're getting closer to the pond, to the little lake. So everything is getting a little more swampier. Yeah, different herbs and different trees are actually growing here, and everything, every tree, every bush, everything you see are real, flora that actually exists, that actually grows in these places, and it's mapped so meticulously that even if you would be like a botanist, you would probably recognize a lot of them.
There was a ornithologist reaching out to us not long ago,
Yes,
complaining that we have, I forgot the name of that, like some dows or something in KCD1, because our sound engineers, actually when he goes into the forest to get the sounds right, he's of course taking 25th century, the 21st century sounds,
Yes.
and not 1403 sounds. So
Yeah, and there were some invasive species of
Yeah,
birds
yeah.
that actually weren't there in the 15th century, so we
Yeah.
had to and we actually like this kind of feedback because this is the thing we
of course.
love.
We absolutely love that. We love to talk to those people, laugh about it together, and it's just amazing. You know what's also amazing? This view. Oh my goodness. Look at this. It's maybe too good to have our faces there. So let me just put us away for a second. So, isn't that great?
Yeah. I really like, and there's these little nooks and crannies in around the pond that you can find interesting things and points of interest, and it's really, really nice.
And now, Prokop, the chat is asking, can Henry swim? Do you think we should debunk this? Crush their dreams?
Not really. Actually, at the beginning of the game, Henry will be forced to swim in a very a story moment, and it will go so horribly that he will swear he will never swim again. So yeah, sorry, you can't just freely swim anywhere.
Hungry Henry unfortunately cannot swim, guys. Crushed dreams.
Actually, later on, there's one quest when he'll be so drunk that he will swim again, and it will once again end horribly.
There you go. Is he swimming in a bathhouse?
You can consider it swimming, yeah.
Okay. There was actually also some wildlife here, so if you're lucky, then you can find crabs and little animals here as well that you can pick
Yes,
up
yes.
and eat, right?
Yeah. And you can, once again, you can cook them, smoke them. So yeah, there's like a lot of, there's quite a big variety of animals now, and also very nice new animations of all those animals. So you really feel, and you like, when you actually met a deer in there, and you saw that he could turn like pretty smoothly and everything. The level of polish in everything. It's the KCD2 is the game we really wanted to make. KCD1 was like I loved the game, and I spent 6 years on the game, but I loved the game. But we were really trying something that was like little above our capability. And now this game is the thing we wanted to make, and we hope that you'll we really honestly hope that in the end you'll appreciate it.
Do you think I should show the community, the chat, what they can also do if they're at beautiful places like this?
Yeah, sure.
But
do
that's
it.
kind of a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler. It's a little feature.
It's a little feature, but it's kind of a spoiler. Guys, do you want a tiny little spoiler? Like a tiny one. It's not a story spoiler.
They know already.
They know. It's not peeing. That would be very funny. But it's actually finally we have a photo mode in the game, right? So you can watch wonderful Henry staring into distance, but also you can whoop and hide the hints, and you can do the most wonderful
nice
screenshots you want to do.
Yeah.
The camera is tied to Henry, so you cannot fly extremely far away. It's also physical, so you cannot go through walls or something like that.
Yes.
But there's a tiny gimmick.
Yeah.
Which,
there's a story about it. Try to end the photo mode.
End the photo mode. Guys, take care. What's happening now?
What a view.
Yeah. When the photo mode ends, Henry will comment on what you did in the photo mode. Well, it's a generic. He will basically say like
Nice
what
or
of you are
something,
nice or something like that. But when we are like trying to implement photo mode, there's like this issue we're trying to solve, because photo mode can be used to kind of cheat when you're trying to stealthily approach something. We didn't want you to like look around the corners, but we didn't want to limit the photo mode too much. So what we did is that when the photo mode ends, Henry will comment, and that little saying of his is actually heard by people in the world. So when you're like really trying to approach somebody in stealth and you'll cheat in this way, when Henry says nice or what of you, the guards will say, what? What was that? And they'll look at you and go and search that place.
I think that is such a tiny detail, but still, I think KCD is all about the details, and this is like so nerdy and so cool. Really. So when you end the photo mode, Henry barks something, and the others will hear it, so you cannot use it for while stealthing.
Very similar thing, but when you're talking, as you are like making fun of our dirty Henry, now, when you're dirty, you actually smell. And when you're like in stealth, people can actually smell you. So when you're like trying to approach the guard to stealth kill him, he can actually smell you and turn around. He has like completely unique dialogues about that. He'll like turn around, he'll just try to sniff like, what the hell is that?
And I ask you, what the hell is that? Because this looks like a cave or something, and since we are in the Trotsky area, an area that is also called today the Bohemian Paradise, it's full of those sandstone formations, rocky mountains kinda, and they have little caves and valleys and canyons. And what can we expect there?
Well, a lot of that, a lot. In some of those, there's like a hidden stuff, so you can, if you explore, that's another thing I think that's way better in KCD2. There's a lot of interesting things to like find in the world. It's in most of them there's some little story, even if it's just environmental storytelling. There's something, Henry will comment on something. There will be things to loot and stuff like that. So these are like especially good places to look for something. But be careful, because 15th century Bohemia, there was in a civil war, a lot of bandits, a lot of soldiers or soldiers fleeing. So it is a dangerous place. So be prepared. And as you guys saw Toby when trying to fight, in KCD, every fight should be impactful. You shouldn't just blindly rush into like people, because it is dangerous. You are supposed to use all the tools you have, you can use. You are supposed to try to talk somebody out of fighting. You're supposed to try some potions. You are supposed to try to kill a few of them from stealth first. So be careful about it.
And since we were talking about smelling, is this perk still in there that if when you have flowers in your pocket or herbs that you smell
Yes.
actually good?
Yes, and there's also a lot of hidden perks. Actually, I don't think nettles, because nettles don't grow in this kind of biomes. But for example, a good hint to our players: if you pick a lot of nettles, there's a hidden perk that will permanently raise some of your stats a little bit, but it can help you at the beginning.
Well, it's not a hidden perk anymore.
It is not. It's hidden for most of the players.
Yeah.
Only the people on the stream know.
You qualified ones
Yeah.
who were with us through this entire stream. You now have this super secret
Yeah.
OP.
Something similar was in KCD1 actually, but there's way more. There's definitely more of these in KCD2. So explore, try things, try new things. We're really trying to reward players that are trying new things, try new approaches. Yeah.
Okily dokily. So we will now go again, pick those flowers, and then address.
Maybe I think from there, yeah, there it is. You can see the Gelée of Pop, which is I think the biggest pub in the region. It's pretty big. Also, some very interesting quests are there, so I definitely suggest going there. There's bathhouses also, so once again you can use baths there.
Bathhouses, everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
Can I slip from here?
You can't slip, but you can fall.
I will not try it.
And you can see, for example, on the left, there are some birds flying there.
Yeah,
I am not thinking
here.
this is intentional, but sometimes birds can lead you to places.
So you know what place we need to go now? Pick some flowers,
Yes.
because our best friend Hans is still in his last moments there, and we were just sightseeing. So we should not do that. Hop. And I will scare the deer. Go away, deer. And give me the sage.
Yes.
Purple flower.
Okie dokie.
Sage.
And the
There we go.
chamomile, which is here.
That's it.
Now,
Chamomile.
okay, before we go back now,
I've got all the herbs
I
use.
will
So
do
back to Bajana on the
something.
double.
No, wait, let
Sooner
me,
Hans
let
gets
me
that remedy, the
get
better.
the autosave first, and then I will put on some armor, some slight one, and then we want to show you again about how the game plays differently and how stuff will change according to what you do and how you decide and which items you choose to wear and so on and so on.
Yes.
So let me just quickly initiate this.
What's that
Yes.
sound?
There it is.
Now we go into the inventory, and I will take what I looted earlier from this wonderful gentleman, the dirty bastard, dirty and naked bastard.
Maybe you can talk about outfits. It's a new thing.
Absolutely. So look on the right side. You see that everything is marked with a yellow shield right now in the inventory,
And there's a yellow sheet
and
below
there's
Henry.
a yellow sheet below Henry, because we can now actively change outfits like that. So you can have 3 pre-prepared outfits.
Yes.
Comes really handy. So I would recommend something like a, let's say, fighting outfit, a stealth outfit, and maybe a speech outfit or something like that. And you can pre-prepare those sets, and then with a click on a button in your inventory, when you're not in the middle of a combat,
Yeah.
then you need to have some safe place and some quiet place. Then you can change the outfit. But you can pre-prepare, which I think is a quality of life improvement. Absolutely.
And there's a lot of them in the game,
Yeah.
because that's something we wanted to improve a lot. The game should be now much smoother to play. You should be way easier to learn. The depth is there. The game is maybe even deeper, including the combat. There's some very advanced moves that weren't in KCD1. The depth is there, but it should be a little easier to get into it, a little easier to learn everything, a little more descriptive.
And I will now. We have the different outfit, of course, but also this belt that I'm wearing is a weapons belt. I call it a Batman belt, because you can put different weapons now on this belt and have a quick swapping system now that you can quicker and easier change weapon according to situation. So you can have, depending on your belt, you can have several, and yeah.
I don't think you have equipped the gambeson. I think you're still wearing the tunic. I think you have it in an outfit, but yeah, this is the outfit you want.
Okay, there you go. So
And you can
just
actually see if you like you look onto your right side, like little right, and you can see if you go to the secondary stats, you can see now your intimidation is 10 actually. Change the outfit on the left. Yeah, in here. Yeah, and go back. And now you can see it lowered a lot. 6, because depth of the systems. When you're talking to somebody or when you're fighting somebody, when you are wearing a strong armor that's fully blooded, completely covered in blood, you are more intimidating. And the same actually, even in dialogues or even in other systems, it same works against people. So for example, if you will loot somebody's armor before, for example, a fight in some quest, it will be easier to intimidate him because he will feel weaker because he doesn't have his weapons, he doesn't have his armor. So all these systems are kind of working together to give you this kind of options once again, or to immerse yourself in all those things you can actually do.
I will show you now something. I will keep the tunic, right? Because I want to show you something.
I think you're still pretty intimidating because you have the weapon and everything.
Okay.
If you want to show what I think you want to show, go there naked.
Naked?
Yeah.
But with a
Or at least
with
tunic.
a tunic.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me check. Intimidation. Yeah, that's nice. So at least we have the tunic. We need a weapon. But I will take my favorite weapon here, which is the axe that is lying here around. And I want to show you now something, guys. So a little spoiler. First of all, I take this weapon. Remember earlier when we arrived here. Let me equip this just in case things go south. When we arrived here earlier, they immediately attacked us because they saw the guy. If I'm not wearing a weapon right now, it's on my belt, as you can see. And now if we approach the situation, they will at least not attack us right away. He will say, "Hello."
Come here and tell me who you are, or I'll
Okay, Mikesh, let's talk peacefully.
Lord von Bergov sent us to find the renegades who ambushed some knights company down by the pond yesterday. A couple of them fled and are hiding out here in the rocks. So tell me who
I think the
you
dude on the
are
left has a
and
trigger
what
finger.
you
He
know
wants to
about it.
kill us desperately.
It's like
Yeah,
about to
let
come.
me in. So, what do you guys want to say? 1 or 2? We are the messengers when we were ambushed, or you don't look like von Berghoff's men? 1 or 2? Tell me, 1 or 2? A lot of 2s, some 1s. Okay. So we call them out, okay? Good, let's do that.
You're from Lord von Bergov. You don't look like it.
Kurva! Watch your tongue with me,
The
boy.
international
When I
word
say
of
we're
peace.
from-
Definitely.
we're from fucking von
Everything
Bergov.
peaceful starts
Who
with
else would
Yeah,
we
with
be
the K
from
word.
anyway?
Yeah.
You can talk to me or talk to Cold Steel. Who the hell are you? And what are you doing here?
So, remember so first of all, there's different options here. Messengers, that was something we saw earlier. You're looking, we can use our skill, we can lie, or we can try and intimidate them. So let's try and that
Yes.
for a second.
Do you think I'm a fool? I know a robber when I see one. There's been lots of you types in these parts recently, and the fellas from the village are well pissed off. So get lost and don't come back, or we'll
Get
take our
lost,
axes to you.
scum.
Well, that wouldn't be very nice. The thing is,
And another thing, and I think only KCD does that, when you fail something, there's a unique lines for all of them. So they actually say something instead of just a fail, and most of them are really funny. It's actually really good to really try. But now you're without a Gamba son, so let's see, Toby, how well you can.
Oh, God.
Yeah, good one.
fucker out, damn it! Show your stuff.
Oh, that will be hard. That will be hard. There's 2 of them.
Yeah,
Oh,
and you're
oh.
dead. Yeah.
There I'm dead. That's very sad. However, let's try again. And let's try something different. Because
Dog making such a
earlier,
fuss about.
when we looted the different armor types, right? And let me change that outfit again. Oh, I don't have it yet. We have the bloody stuff, the gambeson, the vagrant boots, and so on. And those are, especially because they are bloody, right? they are more intimidating.
Could something have happened?
And
that was
if
Ennis?
we go there now again, let's see that. And I mean, that is not, that is something that all RPGs kind of do, or many of them. But the point that we are trying to make, that will come, the revelation comes right after that scene. So let's put that weapon just in case.
Hey, you!
What's
what do
up?
you want? Lord von Bergov. A
Yep.
couple of them. So tell me who.
Yep. You don't
You're
look
from
like
Lord
von
von
Berghov's
Bergov.
man.
You can talk.
Exactly. And now, if we
You
say
think I'm a fool?
same thing,
I know a robber when I see one. There's been lots
And
of
we
you
look
types
like
in
a
these parts recently, and the fellas from the village are well
effing
pissed
killer
off.
full
So
of
get
blood.
lost and don't come back, or we'll take our axes to you.
Easy there. We're no robbers, we're just carrying out orders. We've had a look round here, so we can be on our way again.
And they're just free.
And goodbye, you scoundrels. So, now you think, okay, well, many RPGs do that, but
Yes. Actually, this is just, well, it's not a little thing. It's a kind of like a big deal. These two guys, they were not just random bandits. They actually have a role in later on in the story. They're not the main characters. If you kill them, you'll not like lock your quest or you'll progress. No, not at all. We don't want you to reload. But there's like these little consequences. So actually those guys, later on, you can actually befriend them and they can help you in some of the quests. They are, I think, they're like in 3 quests where you can meet them, where you can talk to them. At the beginning, actually, they can make one quest a little harder because they can recognize you. They'll try to get somewhere and they will recognize you. But later on, you can befriend them and you will actually, you know,
Von Bergov.
have a lot of common in them, with them.
and by the way, as Bokop said earlier, they have unique lines for almost everything. Did you see that he was just asking me, why the heck are you running around with a weapon in your hand? So I had my equipped weapon, and he was reacting to that. And again, that is what I'm trying to tell you all the time. The world is so reactive to you that it's really, immersiveness is extremely important for us. And now, if we tell him, listen, I'm Henry from Skalitz, that's the other option.
You really are trying to win at least one story, don't you?
Absolutely. Now
You feel ashamed a little bit
They
with
will-
your
they-
combat skills.
they will call me the Butcher of Skalitz. Yeah. They will know who the heck I am.
And an escort would be good too.
Shit, how about that? I didn't expect you to fall for it so easily. We're not von Bergov's men, and we'll deal with him later. Like we did with you yesterday by the pond. But that's the least of your worries now. We'll take your Sir Hans with us. But we've no need of you. Farewell, Henry of Skalitz. This'll be quick, boy. This'll be quick, boy.
You win.
Yeah.
I believe in you. Please. Yes.
Oh, where's the other one? Oh no.
You still let him go to your back, man.
Yeah.
Still have a chance.
Rookie mistake.
Rookie mistake, yeah. But the dog can help you.
Yeah. Do it. Come on. For the camera. Nice.
Yeah, kill him. Yeah, that's more of your style.
And you thought I'm bad at fighting,
There was
but I'm
just a
actually good at acting. That's the part that you
You
need
very
to know.
proficiently stabbed him in the back.
Absolutely. So first of all, Ma, I'm bleeding. Well, no, Bożena, I'm bleeding.
You look a sight. It's a wonder you're standing on your feet. My word. They
I
worked
said
you
the
over good.
Butcher of Skalitz. It's mere scratch. Well,
You're dying there, man.
I mean, I still have HP, right?
Yeah, some.
It's it's nothing. A scratch or two.
The other two
It's just a flesh wound.
Play the hero. I can't see much, but
This
I know
is
what a
actually,
battered fellow looks like.
This
Tell me.
line is also reactive. She
I'll
really
try
does
and
react to
get
what
you
your
to better
HP is and how hurt you
didn't
are.
go to the
So
trouble of
she
healing
sees through you.
Just so you
She
don't
knows
die
you
on me.
survive just by a tiny bit.
I'm
of
still
HP.
convinced I'm an amazing actor.
Yeah. An amazing
Yeah.
fighter, obviously.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I run them. So they were fighting what 3 times. So they lost a lot of stamina, and I was fresh for the last one. Yeah.
I reckon it was one of those who followed us yesterday.
Fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially in the back.
God be
So,
praised that
yeah,
my
God be
Pavlena
praised.
wasn't here. Heaven knows what they'd have done to her. So, I'd like to know why all this is happening. Your friend was talking in a delirium in the night, saying you was knights. But if
So
you
there's
two
a
are
lot of
knights, then
NVIDIA
I'm the
GeForce
Queen of
questions.
Sheba.
We don't have any info about these kind of things, so that is something I can't answer you yet, unfortunately. Also, PC specs, if you ask about them, those will be revealed by the end of the year. As I said earlier, or in the beginning of the stream, we are right now deep into optimizations and bug fixing. But I can already give you a little tiny information. We had a really breakthrough moment not long ago, which will be really good news for someone, which I'm not telling you yet. So, see you later. Okay.
Such a vague teaser.
Yeah, very vague. So, do we tell Bozena the truth or not? What do you think, guys?
Is it safe to tell her?
I don't know.
Do you believe her?
I don't know. I mean, she patched us up and she
Yeah,
patched up.
she seems like to be a
Hans.
good person, but
I mean, everyone loves a good look. Everyone is saying one.
okay,
See?
yeah.
Can we kill? No. Okay, you deserve the truth, Bozena. Tell me
Bow
everything.
to your ladyship. Sir Hans is the young lord of Leiper and Perkstein. I'm Henry of Skalitz, son of Sir Radzig Cobbler, and I'm his bodyguard. We were heading to Trotsky to deliver a message from Sir Hanish of Leiper and Margrave Jobst to Lord Bombergov. But we were ambushed by bandits yesterday down by the pond, and you already know the rest. And as God is my witness, we're no bandits. I swear to you, I'm thankful to you for saving us. And I'm sorry it caused you trouble.
Well, you sound sincere, so I'll take your word for it. I hope I won't live to regret it.
You won't. I promise you.
Promises are made to be broken, but thank you for dealing with them. Except I have 2 fresh corpses in my yard.
Don't worry. I reckon I've still got a bit of strength left. I ought to be able to manage it before evening.
I'd be eternally grateful to you. But be careful while you're at it. You don't want to open that wound or strain yourself.
What about Sir Hans? How's he doing?
He's holding up, I'd say. I
Cousin
treated
check.
his wounds and I'll change his bandages shortly.
Mikesh
But
and
what he
Kozichek.
needs
For
most
those who
now is
speak
that
Czech,
remedy.
they will have.
Have you got
They will
everything
know.
for
The
it?
rest, Google it.
Chamomile and sage, like you said.
Excellent. Now to brew the potion from them. I gave you 2 the last of my supply during the night. But fresh is best anyways. It's a shame my daughter Pavlena ain't back yet. She'd get it done in a jiffy. But we'll just have to manage without her. But you can do it too. It ain't nothing hard. My eyes are so bad, it'd take me all day. But at least I can tell you how to go about it.
And when she's talking about that her eyes are bad, you can actually see that she has like the eye illness that makes her see bad. It's like a custom made for her.
And we'll brew the remedy, right? So alchemy, of course, again,
Yeah.
back in the game.
But damn it, Tobit, clean yourself. Do you see how dirty you are?
Yeah. Yes.
I've been at the alchemist bench a few times, but it's been quite a while.
That's grand. More than I was hoping for. And not to worry, it'll all come back to you. I have a book here with the recipe, but it'll be better if I tell you. I know it
Can
by
see the
heart.
little shade in her eyes, so this is
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
bug or something. This is like really
My word.
her having
Maybe
an
you
illness.
really are a noble
I love
soul.
how she
Take the
misses
book
that.
just in case.
Yeah, that's another
That
thing we did.
front
We have
tooth.
like a different
Give us
teeth
advice,
for
that'd
different
be
people.
great.
So we,
Of course.
a lot of times in
Everything we
games,
need
even
is
when they're
in the
Middle Ages,
hut.
everybody has a
Let's get
perfect
to
teeth.
it.
Not in our game.
But on the contrary, there's a very, 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 very common misconception
True.
that everyone has black teeth, everything is falling
it's not
out,
true.
and like, that's absolutely
Because sugar wasn't
exactly
that consumed back
exactly,
then. So they
exactly.
actually had, even overall, the hygiene and teeth and everything was pretty good in Middle Ages.
Exactly. So absolutely. So let's blame modern food industry. So exactly the sugar is they didn't had sugary diets, so
Yes.
they were mainly meat or natural stuff. So there's really not much they can. Well, unless you get an axe in your face, but then you have other problems, I guess.
Yeah.
So Should I check on Kozlicek and
Sure.
I will not pick
Maybe
them up.
you can use the compare. That's another thing that we did. If you
Oh look,
press
here's a
right.
pretzel. And
Oh.
if Sexy Biscuit Roxy is watching, the pretzel is for you. So she hates the pretzels. So doors and a key chest. Interesting.
It might be useful later on.
Let's take everything. Taylor's kit.
You can actually, you know, where we were teasing at the beginning, you can actually fix some of your clothes.
Let's check that out. So it is in the
Other. Yeah.
And here we have the Taylor's kit. Let's take this one, for instance.
Yeah, any of them.
Yeah, use it. And this is now like a quick way.
Yeah, you're
how
choosing which type of clothing you want to repair.
Now, you might say, hey, Toby and Procker, wait a moment. How can you, with one Taylor kit, repair all the items you have? Well, there's an answer.
Yeah, actually, every Taylor kit has like the condition, which is like what you see under the little part there. And based on the price of the things you are repairing, it kind of lowers the condition of the Taylor's kit. So if you're trying to repair like way more fancy things, way more fancy clothing, it will take more of your repair kits.
And I think that's absolutely fair. I think, again, that is how to balance it out a little bit
Yeah,
so that you cannot repair your own stuff all the time. So the super heavy, super valuable stuff you either repair with a lot of these kits or you go to the city and get it
And
done.
there's also associated skill. So if you are better at that skill, for example, it will be like easier for you to repair things. You will lose less of your repair kits. But also there are specific perks in that skill that will, for example, make the things better if you repair them. Like you can pet them to make them more stealthy or do some other stuff with them.
I took the bone comb because I have a very wonderful beard in real life and that needs to be combed sometimes.
Obviously.
But back to business. Hello, Bozhena. How close can I get to you? Okay, too close. Let's check out her wonderful, beautiful alchemy hut. And you know, that is something, so we get very often the question between realism and gameplay. And it's really important to mention that in the first place, we are absolutely working on a video game.
Yes.
First and foremost, right? The realism part is something that we use to flavor everything. That is the tools, the work, the kit that we are using to build everything, to craft everything. But realism can never stand in the way of fun gameplay. So we need to find a balance, and that's like a daily struggle we have.
Yes.
And the alchemy, for instance, the potions are somewhat funny, of course, sometimes. However, still, what we can see here in the book, for instance, these things are actually based on real herbalism that was used in the Middle Ages, right?
If you know, maybe even some of your grandmothers might used a chamomile decoction it really helps with healing, for example. For example, you can see this is like completely new art, and all those herbs actually exist. And if it says it grows in roadside stitches, in clearings, and where there is relief from the sun, and it grows there in real life. If you learn from our game where the herbs grow, you can actually find them in the real world as well.
Exactly. And if it says it's poisonous, then don't try them in real life.
Don't eat it.
Someone was asking if we can carry the book around. No, the books are always put here,
No.
but...
Actually, if you can't do now because you're in the tutorial, but now, yes, in KCD2, when you're leaving Henry actually take the book with himself, but later on, I think, I'm not sure if you can go there from the tutorial, but in your codex, every description of any herb or of any potion.
Have concluded a very fragile truce with Sigismund, and if anyone should disrupt my plans with headstrong acts of violence, there will be consequences.
I intend to wage war, not parley.
Everything all right, eh?
We need more people. The best thing would be to recruit from your old comrades.
Well, if they're not already swinging on the gallows somewhere.
Will you help us, Henry?
dreamt of leaving this place. Becoming more than a peasant.
You know the trouble with an adventurous life? It can end before it gets started.
Congratulations, Sir Knight! You finally become a man.
Wake up! Pull yourself together, Henry.
Nobody will hand anything on a platter to men like you and me.
You still have a long way to go till your work is done.
Be kind and protect us, so we don't blow our arses off. The best laid plans of men don't always come to fruition. Man proposes, but God disposes. And then boots you right in the balls. These two young fellas, I need to find them. One's a smart-ass smith, and the other's a blue-blooded fledgling.
You behave like a spoilt brat.
How dare you speak? Gentlemen, praise be to our Lord Jesus Christ.
Our Father, there are many sinners in this world. But in the end, we all face your judgment for what we should have done, but lacked the courage to do.
The last time I ran away, I lost everything. I'm never gonna run from that fucker again.
Kiss our asses!
God, is this retribution for my sins?
To the task!
I do for you, you stinker?
I need my wounds treated and my clothes washed. And then I'll have a hot bath.
Great, but it'll cost you.
I'll gladly pay you.
You certainly won't regret it. My baths are first class.
Ha! That was just a little appetizer. And now I'm hungry again. So I reckon it's time for another course. What do you say? And
my leather satchel. I put it down here for a moment and now it's gone?
Where did you put it?
Somewhere around here. I made sure it wouldn't be in plain sight. At least I think I did.
Oh, a moment's distraction is all it takes. Someone must have filched it from you.
If I don't find it, I'm done for.
Now hold on, wait. What are you doing? Give it back right now. Had enough? Now hand it back. Everything you stole from me.
Here. That's all of it. Can I go now?
Piss off.
Życie mordowałem i ruchałem. Więcej razy paliłem kościoły niż byłem u spowiedzi. Wybacz swoje słudze. Wybacz i pozwól mi jeszcze tylko raz wykastrować tych bezbożnych skurwysynów!
Oh, shut up! No one can listen to your damn gibberish!
Twoja baba i tak do końca życia będzie pamiętać o mojej polskiej kiełbasie!
I'll shut that gob of yours!
Ciebie i twoją matkę piekło pochłonie. Niech was piekło pochłonie!
Wait! Stop!
A co to za kutas?
Leave him alone and untie him.
Why would I do that? Do you know what that bastard did?
If you're talking about the rumors in the village, it's all lies. Nothing happened.
You don't know what you're talking about. That whoreson defiled my wife. My Eva, eh? He should be glad we're only gonna hang him. If I had my way, we'd castrate him as well.
I saw that mark you left on your wife's face. That was no accident, was it?
What are you on about?
You'll raise your hand to a defenseless woman, but you need a whole gang to take on a man.
Think you can insult me, do you? Shut your gob. Get him, lads.
Chwała Polsce, kurwy! Jebać was! O kurwa mać. Mało brakowało. Kimkolwiek jesteś, masz krzepę. To jakżeś nastukał tym zagnojonym kuciapom, o, sam bym lepiej tego nie uczynił.
I reckon you want to know who I am, right? I'm Henry. Henry.
Nie. A dlaczego ty mówisz do mnie jak do głupca?
Yes, that's me. Henry. I was sent by Dry Devil. He's waiting for you at the Devil's Den.
O, żeż kurwa, czart żyje? To jeszcze go nie powiesili? Kurwa, patrz, głupim to szczęście sprzyja.
As you say, in the Devil's Den. That's where all of us are supposed to meet.
O, złociutki. Kocham cię. Chodź ze mną. Musimy to opić w czartówce.
Go ahead. I'll meet you there later.
Dobra, to tam się spotkamy. Kurwa, już się nie mogę doczekać jakiegoś ruchanka.
Good evening to you.
I'm looking for someone, and the innkeeper said you might be able to help.
Is that so? Who is it?
Wondering... I'm starting to understand your plan. The Kuttenberg swordsmen display their guild sword on the town hall to announce that they're accepting challenges, right? Except they would never do that themselves. So, we'll give them a little nudge. They won't be able to back down, and Menhard will get the duel he wants.
Exactly, Heinrich. I see you know a lot about Fechter traditions. That makes me happy.
All right, I'll steal their guild and shirt and hang it on the town hall. Klar.
Wunderbar. The main thing is they must not see you. And if anything goes wrong, do not kill anyone. That would spoil our plan.
Yeah, murder can make things awkward.
Good. Agreed. When it is fertig, come and tell me.
Great comment, random text. I love stealing. So, we got a quest. Our task is now to go and steal the sword, the ceremonial sword from the other sword fighting school. I saw a lot of questions about the PC specs in the chat and also about DRM. So let's talk seriously for a second, okay? Guys, get ready. So first of all, PC specs, okay? That is something that is always being made in the end of development, right? So first you create the game, put everything in there you can, and in the end you are trying extremely hard to get rid of the bugs and to optimize it on all the hardware possible. There's a minimum, there's a maximum, you know that of course. Right now, as I said, we are deep into optimizations and bug fixing. I'm extremely positive about the performance of the game and also about the state of the game if you're bothered with bugs or whatever. So we will tell you very soon. We are finishing it up right now. I can't tell you yet, but as you can see, this runs I think 80 frames per second right now, and I play on a decent PC, of course, but it's or maybe even 90. So that is pretty good, but I wouldn't be too worried, of course. And now the other part is...
And I think people will be really surprised what kind of PC can run it.
Yes, absolutely. So don't worry about that, right? So again, as I said, we learned, not from the mistakes, but we learned from what we did in KCD1. We took way more time than in the first game for bug fixing, optimization, performance tests, and so on and so on and so on. And we are working on this right now. And not only on PC, also on consoles for the console players. So there's good news for everyone. Give us a tiny little bit more time, but I think by the end of the year we should be able to tell you exactly what you should what you should get. I personally at home play on a 3050, I think, and it runs butterly smooth. But as I said, give us some time on performance, on testing, and we will tell you soon. Okay, and now the other thing is. And let's give me a second here of your attention. So DRM, of course. So there's things floating here in the chat. There's things floating out in the internet. And many of those things are absolutely fake news. And you should be very careful with stuff you trust and see and take for bare coin. So I can tell you right now the exact situation. And the exact situation is that KCD2 will not have de novo in there or not have any DRM system at all. So we never confirmed it. There were some discussions, of course. There was some misalignment. There was some misinformation. But at the end of the day, there won't be any de novo at all. And with that, I would like you to close the case already. Stop texting under every post we do that de novo is in the game, because it's not. We never announced. We never said it will be there. As I said, bit of a misunderstanding, but as long, and that is something you should really remember. As long as Warhorse doesn't announce anything, it's not true. So we say the things once we say them, and once we say them, they are real and it's happening. That was with KCD2 the case. The announcement of KCD2, that will be with the specs, and that is, for instance, right now with the DRM. So let's bury that thing. And let's never ever talk about it anymore. And what we can talk about, though, is the game. So let's resume and continue. Okay? So, we are still on our quest to get the sword.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Stealing is a tiny little bit easier at night, so I might rethink my move here. But first of all, let's go in during the day. Let's try it at least.
One of the things you can see here is, as we spoke with the German guy, but as we go through the city, now you can see the architecture is a little bit different. That's because we are getting into the heavily German populated quarter. So this part of the city, a lot of the houses are built by Germans, and the architecture is a little bit different.
It's such a beautiful game, really. I mean, again, yes, I know I'm biased, but god damn it, that looks just amazing. And I'm really looking forward for when the game actually releases and you guys play it, and then you can visit the locations and go there and compare it to the game. Of course, as I said, as we said earlier, it is a tiny little bit different. Oh, I went wrong. I wanted to go through the front door first, show you the sword fighting school. You can visit the place. It will be a little bit difficult sometimes to recognize, but I think overall it's really cool.
I think you could go through the...
Yeah, no, it's too
yards.
late. I'll go through the streets rather. And all the nice clothing here. We have, I think, generally also a bigger variation of clothing, faces, hairstyles, voices, and so on. So generally when we said the game is bigger and better, I know it always sounds like a phrase, and probably it's also a phrase, but it's actually true. So we enhanced everything we could and tried to make it as nice as possible. Townswoman. This in front of us here is Hradek. It's actually a little, say, garrison place or little castle thingy in the inside of Kuttenberg. They, of course, since they had the central bank here, they needed to have some garrison, some.
It's actually not like that. It's more like the palace.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Like the nobleman's, and it's also this part of the city on the edge, on the top of the river bank. You can see here in this area, it's mostly like the palaces of nobility. The richest of the rich built those small castles for themselves in the city.
Show me what you've got on you.
Who? You? Sure.
Go ahead and
me.
search me. I've got nothing to hide.
Close to the others. It's not safe.
Everything in order. Carry on.
Now I hope this doesn't happen once we have the stolen sword, because if they found contraband on us, we all know how this is going to end. I just briefly go outside maybe. There's several gates on Kutna-Hora, all of them look completely different. For those Czech people among you, you might know what's here in front of us. It's a huge church in Kutna-Hora, which today is something like the... Yeah, let's say like the... How would you call it? Like the city's monument, kinda. It's a huge church, very beautiful. We shot our announcement video in there, but as you can see in the game, it's just being built at the moment. And we have this wonderful view here. Nice little guy walking with his thingy there. It's a all the smoke is coming from the mines, and of course it's a silver mining town. So expect an upper world kinda, and also a mining underground, which we don't want to spoil too much about it, but you can use it for your advantage, maybe for stealing.
Be careful. God is punishing us for
Oh, there you go. For stealing or also questing and so on. So this will be pretty interesting. Right. I like how all the buildings look different, how they're all unique, how nothing is like brush painted, and that is very nice. Anyway, the dude who was actually looking for us or checking us out is one of the guards here, but we have to go down here because this is the sword fighting school, and that's the sword fighting school we are supposed to infiltrate.
Build up your body as well as your spirit.
Look at that. He's actually a colleague. He's from the cutscene department, so some of the faces...
Welcome. What can I do for you?
I want to sword fight. No, I don't. I want to steal your sword, but I can't tell you. So, advantage of daylight. We can go in, and it will be all fine. It's not disallowed to be in here, so it's not a crime. If we go but the inside here is the sword that we are trying to steal. But the disadvantage to go in during day is that, of course, all of them will be on their toes and they will see us if we will be trying to steal something. On the plus side is that all the doors are open, so when going in there, yeah, see, it's getting tricky already, and we see the bunny on the top, which is also a new icon from the game. So when the bunny is there, it's something like, it gives you a status of what you're supposed to do, or where to be and not to be. Bunny tells us to F off, so we are effing off right now. And it's fine already. So going in during day might be a bit tricky, and that's why let's try and sneak in during the night. But first of all, let me go here outside, because if I time skip here inside that building, they will of course kick me out the moment they feel like I shouldn't be there anymore. Wrong button, there you go.
It was one mask.
Let's go to the night. And it's nighttime. Hello, sir. It's night. Remember that at night you must carry a torch. Cool thing is that if you time skip to the night, then you will automatically equip a torch, so you don't get caught by a guard while time skipping. That's a bit weird. So, up. Let's go. So, the concept artists or your department are the ones that are working closest with the historians, which is, I think, a pretty interesting information. Most people, when they hear concept, they think of people drawing orcs and elves, but you are the ones that are closest work. We have the in-house historian, of course, but she's working with the others, but you are working with most of the historical data. Can you say something about that?
What do you want to hear? Like there is, it's like you are saying, and it's one of the tough part for some people who are coming into the company when they are really skilled draftsmen or can paint real nicely, but then we ask them to really dig deep. Fortunately, you would do even the fantasy game. The approach would be similar. You do some research. The kind of thinking about the stuff is, if you are doing it well, you do it similar as we do. It's not a huge difference, but we are kind of bound much more to respect what we learn and like don't change the stuff just because we think it's looking cool. That's the biggest challenge. Like you are not always allowed to do what you think it's just cool. It needs to be cool, but also it needs to fit into the world.
Yeah, but I think that is also where we sometimes have to draw a line, because and that is very often I'm being asked, like, if realism isn't like a handicap or something. But you need to understand that we are not killing fun gameplay in order to make something super realistic but super boring or tedious or something. The point is that the realism part is something like the vessel or the toolbox or the techniques we are using, the story we are telling, the way how we write the dialogues, how we think about questing and so on. So that is not the issue. However, sometimes, mostly due to technical reasons, we have to bend reality a tiny little bit, and that is sometimes, for instance, that armor maybe is not maybe it's 100 years older or younger or whatever, and sometimes we say, hey, listen, it just fits so well into the setting we need it, or the streets of Kuttenberg aren't always exactly how they are in real life, because sometimes you just need that little twist and turns for the draw distances and so on.
But there are two things. First, with the armors, we are really trying to keep them as close as possible. So it's usually just the decision we are doing. For example, with one you can get with pre-order. We wanted to make kind of vintage armor, something like you get this luxurious vintage car, so this is vintage armor. So we did it like it's supposed to look like 50, almost 100 years old, like 50 I would say. So it's not like we just go through nice pictures of armors and batch them together, but this is exactly what we do. So even if you and even with that, we of course can make some mistakes. That's given. You will we have like around the guy who was painting the icons for clothing system. He did basically like 3,000 icons for the clothing system. So there's a huge amount of assets we have just for the clothing system. So it's kind of you will do some small mistakes on the way that's uninventable. But we are really trying to be as hard and looking for details and not forgiving ourselves to split. So yeah. And the other thing with the streets, we are usually trying to find some other way, something which would make sense. So maybe it's not 100% like we don't know how it was, for example, but we always look for how it could be. We have maybe something similar in some different cities, maybe even in Germany. There is some similarities in those cities, so we can always get inspired by that.
That's a good point, because some of the stuff is destroyed already, so or just there's not so many things we can check out here in Czech Republic. So you guys are going further, trying to find information in France, Germany, England, and so on. However, you need to be different. You need to be careful, because things are also changing in looks and styles. People had different touches and different likings and so on. By the way, the reason why I was going out, because there was this dude standing around in the room, which I was a tiny little bit afraid that he will spot us. But I'm too good of a master thief here, so let's go out. Okay. I got that sword. We should be careful about the knights, the guards, because as you saw earlier, they can, if they want to, randomly search us. And if they do, they will find out that we have that stolen sword on us, because this ceremonial sword is obviously something that's not belonging to us. What is important though is, and that is I think really cool, quests play, and this was already part of KCD1, but we cranked up the volume again here for the second game. Quests do play different according to decisions and things you do in the questing. So I will tell you later about what would happen if they will caught us, if they would caught us, or if we would lose in the beginning against Menhard. But here's a very interesting church. Can you tell us why it has only one tower? Because it still has one tower today.
Yeah, you can see it. It's been built in that time, so you can see there's all around. They are just trying to build it, but that's you already kind of mentioned the reason before. The whole city is undermined, and it was not really. It was dangerous to finish the tower. So when they found out, they just decided to not continue. So. It looks almost the same today.
I feel like there's a pattern there. The Sazava monastery was never finished. Now this church is never finished.
And even Barbara took a few centuries to finish. So it's
wonderful. But there's a battlement up there. Do you know why a church has a battlement up there? Do you know it?
No.
I know. So the reason why they have a battlement is it's something like a local speaker in a way. So if you want to spread a message really quickly in medieval times, you can either send the guards and send messengers and so on, or if something is really bad, terribly, you go just on a very high vantage point like this church here. And then shout it down like, hey, fire or attack or whatever. So the battlement is not for protection, like to fight there, but it's just to be able to stand there and shout downwards. Show the inventory, please. Okay.
Yeah, so now you can change the cap.
Yeah. You want me to change the hat?
Yeah, remove it.
Okay. So now Henry's brown-haired again. So the inventory got a big overhaul as well, as you can see. There's still a lot of information there, but I think they're way more on point than they were before. It has everything you need. The crafting is there, the skills is there, all with the little tiny sub things. You can see that polearms now has their own weapon skill tree kinda. So polearms are a thing in the game. Unarmed is a skill in the game. You can, for instance, if you have no weapon on in your hands, you can try to unarm or disarm the opponent. We have the different skills, of course. Here you go, survival, thievery, all the good stuff. And the missile weapons, the marksmanship, and so on. All the good things. Combos are in there, and everything you like. Kuttenberg, people of the forest.
And there was the question in the chat about the polearms, and you can have them in the inventory and just carry them around and use them as regular weapons.
Which is something a lot of people wanted. You can craft stuff. You can have the codex as well, as always. So as I said, there's a lot of cool things. Again, this is a build from August, so this is not final quality, of course. We will expand on a lot of things. We will change a lot of things. But I think all in all, gives you already a good first touch, impression of the game. I personally love those little pictures here. Are they still existing, or did you come up with your own ideas, or how does that work?
Some of them are being found around different cities in Bohemia, so they are maybe not this one on this house, but yeah, they are kind of legit, and we found a lot of mentions of them. And there is also some interesting stories about them, like this guy during the Hussite Wars, they were those different fictions, and one rich man painted one of his favorite warlord on the wall, and then got really problem in the city council and needed to remove it later. So it was really popular even to political statement or something. You just put it your favorite site on the wall.
There was also something like medieval graffiti, right? Well, let's not talk too much about it, but let's us just say that medieval graffiti will also play a role. I also like a lot the coat of arms here and the statues. It's such a common, people are saying that everyone in the Middle Ages had black teeth and everything is gray and dark and ugly and I don't know what, but the reality in of course peaceful times and in rich areas was quite different. Of course, if people were wealthy, of course they wanted to show off. Of course they had nice clothes. Of course they wanted to show what they have and brag if they could and so on. So
be careful.
And I especially like a lot this Kutna Hora with all the little markets here. There's a lot of different markets here and different areas.
As soon as the hell freeze over.
Because so KCD has the Kutna Hora has how many markets? 4, 5. There's a horse market, there's a coal market, vegetable market, weapons market, and so on and so on. They all are on different locations and of course selling different stuff, which is also a historical fact because of course they didn't want to have the animals right next to the vegetables and so on, and the coal is dirty, so it creates a lot of fuzz and so on. So it's quite cool, and I like these houses a lot here. It looks like an organ or something. Nice. All the shields. Heater shield. Night shield. These we can't take. No stealing, sir. Anyway, let's go back to our quest. So, Menhard told us now to steal the sword. We did that. And now he wants us to hang the sword on the council hall, on the city council hall, which is here. And as a matter of fact, if you today go to Kutna Hora, you will not find this building because it was completely destroyed. And as a fun fact, they don't know more or less, they don't know how it looked like, or they have some ideas, but they don't have facts. What they know is that there was an astronomical clock, but no one could tell us how it actually looked, so we took some famous inspiration from Prague, right?
It's not just the Prague, it's some other, even smaller clockwork, but yeah, it's one of the inspirations.
So let's hang the sword of the Kuttenberg guys here. Return to Menhard. So yeah, so as Victor mentioned earlier, when there's no precise proof on how things could have looked like or how they look like, then we are trying to get our best, most educated guess, or at least to make it as plausible as possible. Okay, let's go back to Menhard. Can you dual wield? No. Is there going to be check synchronization? Yes, but I won't show it today. I will show it later this month on another occasion. Bruno Orloi DLC, okay. Best game ever. Absolutely, thank you. All the children are absolutely in school. You know, the thing with children is it's, again, mostly a technical reason. So if you have children, not only do you have different, again, more clothes, more items, more animations, and so on, are you able to fight them? Are they running away? It will get a problem with age rating and so on. So there's so many.
Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2 is the sequel to 2018's critically acclaimed Kingdom Come. Deliverance, continuing its commitment to delivering a historically authentic, immersive RPG experience. The game transports players back to 15th century Bohemia during a time of political turmoil and war, providing an expansive world where realism, historical accuracy, and player choice define the experience. This sequel builds upon the foundation of its predecessor with a larger open world, expanded gameplay systems, and a richer narrative that concludes the story of Henry, a blacksmith-turned-adventurer who finds himself entangled in the complex politics of the Holy Roman Empire. The game is set in 1406, during the Hussite Wars, a period of religious and political upheaval in Bohemia. Players explore a world where factions vie for control and alliances are fragile. The narrative focuses on the continued conflict between Holy Roman Emperor Sigismund and the forces opposing his rule, providing a backdrop of civil war and intrigue. Players resume the role of Henry, the protagonist of the first game. Following the events of Kingdom Come: Deliverance, Henry's quest for justice and revenge leads him deeper into the heart of political conspiracies and personal betrayals. The sequel delves into Henry's origins, exploring his relationships with allies, enemies, and the nobility. A significant portion of the story centers on Kutna-Hora, a historical city known for its silver mining and strategic importance in medieval Bohemia. Henry's journey evolves from seeking vengeance to navigating the moral complexities of leadership and loyalty. The story challenges players to question their allegiances and face the consequences of their choices. The game highlights the tensions between different classes, cultures, and religions during the era. NPCs follow realistic schedules, and the environment reacts to the player's actions, including shifts in economy, social standing, and political influence. A revamped combat system makes duels more dynamic and tactical, emphasizing timing, positioning, and weapon choice. Crossbows and early firearms add variety to combat strategies, introducing ranged options that require precision and strategy. Henry's skills, including swordsmanship, alchemy, and horsemanship, evolve based on player choices and actions. Players can engage in various professions, such as blacksmithing and trading, to shape Henry's journey. Branching dialogue and quest lines ensure that player decisions have meaningful impacts on the world, from forging alliances to altering the fate of towns and characters. Buildings, clothing, and weapons are based on historical records, ensuring a believable and immersive experience. Warhorse Studios has partnered with experts to ensure that every detail, from the political landscape to the layout of Kutna-Hora, is accurate. High-resolution textures, realistic lighting, and detailed character models bring 15th century Bohemia to life. Players experience changing weather patterns and seasonal transitions that affect gameplay and exploration. NPCs exhibit more realistic behaviors, reacting dynamically to the player's actions and adapting to changing conditions in the world. A dynamic economy system affects the availability and price of goods based on local events. For example, disrupting a trade route can lead to shortages in nearby towns. Players can influence the economy through actions like smuggling, negotiating trade agreements, or supporting rival factions. Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2 is poised to deliver a rich and authentic medieval RPG experience, expanding on the groundbreaking systems and storytelling of its predecessor. With its massive open world, dynamic systems, and commitment to historical authenticity, the game promises to set a new standard for realism in the genre. The game will be released on February 11th, 2025 on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and Series S. Now you can enjoy some screenshots without any interruption. Enjoy!
Be a clean fight, see? No funny stuff. I could break you in half. Kicks in the balls, fingers in the nose, biting. Try something like that and I'll rip your head off.
Getting your ass kicked once wasn't enough.
Get out of my sight.